to Bali. The Balinese people follow a form of Hinduism known as Agama Hindu Dharma. Balinese culture, traditions and religion impact almost every aspect of life on the island and draws people to Bali to see and experience it. There are over 20,000 Hindu temples in Bali, also known as Pura, each with a specific function and rituality for the Balinese calendar year of 250 days. For the next 15 days, Nusa Dua area is our home. This is where we will be starting our trips from. Nusa Dua area gets a lot of bad press amongst travelers. It is so artificial and sanitized. That does not change the fact though that the beaches here are glorious. If you like seafood, Jimbaran is for you. Jimbaran is an Indonesian fishing village located south of Ngurah International Airport at the neck of the Bukit Peninsula. The village is renowned as a culinary destination with stalls selling seafood saturating the area. Diners select the live seafood that they wish to eat, and it is immediately prepared, generally grilled over a fire of coconut husks rather than charcoal. And if you like the fish where they belong, Jimbaran qualifies also for a fantastic destination for impressive Balinese sunsets. Coffee in the morning makes you fresh, isn't that right? Maybe not for the Luwak, who sleeps all day long. Luwak coffee or civet coffee is a coffee made from the beans of coffee berries, which have been eaten by the Asian palm civet and other related civets, then passed through its digestive tract. Kopi Luwak is the world's most expensive coffee. Following the collection of the cat's waste, the beans are carefully washed, dried, pounded and finally roasted over an open fire. Some coffee connoisseurs say that the natural process of fermentation leaves the final cup of coffee tasting much smoother and less acid than any other coffee. Well then, enjoy. Come with us and see the water temple. Tirtha Empul Temple is a Hindu Balinese water temple located near the town of Tampak Siring. The temple compound consists of a bathing structure famous for its holy spring water, where Balinese Hindus go for a ritual purification called Melukat. The temple pond has a spring, which gives out fresh water regularly, which Balinese Hindus consider to be holy. One thing Bali is famous for are the rice terraces. Well, in Tegalalang we expected nothing but that. We were presented though with a lot of tourists and Indian people who like to take photos on a giant swing. Still, this rice terrace has a lot to offer, like hidden wildlife and fresh green colors that are relaxing to the eye. We just wish that TikTok and Instagram would be a little bit easier on this place. Time to go and visit the butterflies at Komodo Butterfly Park. Komodo Butterfly Park is a park with butterflies in the Sukhavati area. It is located among rice fields. This park focuses on conservation and education as well as being an attraction for tourists and locals to enjoy. The endangered kupu barong moth is found at the cocoon house in this park. Let's dive right in at Padang Bai. Padang Bai is a small coastal town in the Karangasem Regency in southeastern Bali. It includes 4 beaches and several diving spots, in particular the Blue Lagoon sites, which have become part of a marine protected area in 2017, along with Bayas Tugai Beach. Most of them require particular attention to the currents. These can become strong during the tide change and at the new moon. Let's go and see the mantas at Manta Bay, Nusa Penida Island. Nusa Penida Island area covers a wide area of diving locations, including Penida Bay, Batu Lumbung, which is the Manta Point, Batu Meling, Batu Aba, Toya Pake, and Malibu Point. Based on a survey in 2009, there were about 1,419 hectares of coral sites between 3 and 10 meters of depth. Now we can present these pictures to you like this, or confront you with reality. This is basically our Instagram video from a manta's point of view. Come here and see the tourists packed in the water. After a few minutes by boat, we arrive at the next snorkeling spot with a lot of small fish to see. Also, we were super happy to see our first turtle on Bali. Mount Batur is an active volcano located at the center of two concentric calderas northwest of Mount Agung. You have to rent a jeep with a 4x4 drive in order to go there. The southeast side of the larger 10 by 13 kilometers caldera contains a caldera lake. Both the larger caldera and a smaller 7.5 kilometer caldera were formed by a collapse of the magma chamber. The first larger collapse taking place about 29,300 years ago, and the most recent was in the year 2000. The large lava field, located next to Mount Batur, was formed in 1963. Time to move on and see the Mount Batur hot springs. In the village of Toyabungka, there are several hot springs related to the volcanic activity of the Mount Batur volcano. It is the only healing spa in Bali. The water is enriched with minerals such as sulfur, calcium and magnesium, known for their skin-soothing and muscle-relaxing benefits. Surrounded by the stunning landscapes of Mount Batur, the hot springs provide a relaxing and natural atmosphere. Let's go shopping! At Ubud Market, you can. The economy of Ubud is highly reliant on tourism, which focuses on shopping, resorts, museums, yoga and zoos. There is a strong focus on sustainable economy regarding the retail industry in Ubud, with many Bali-grown brands favoring materials and ingredients that would not cause much waste to the environment. If you're tired of shopping and need a relaxing atmosphere, come to Tegenungan Waterfall. This waterfall is located at the village of Tegunangan Kemenu, also known as Kemenu village on the Petanu River in the Giana Regency, north from the capital Denpasar and close to the Balinese artist village of Ubud. The Petanu River ranks among the longest rivers in Bali, with approximately 47 kilometers in length. It flows past Tegunangan waterfall, originating from the highlands of Mount Batua in Kintamani, and has become a popular tourist attraction. Time for us to leave Bali for a while and fly to the island of Flores, where you can see things you can't see on Bali. The harbor greeted us with a relaxed atmosphere, but we found a lot of dirt at the shores of the harbor area. At Flores, be sure to book a trip that keeps you busy during the day, because there aren't so many things to see. Passing Strawberry Rock, we are on our way to Kalong Island, which literally means Flying Fox Island. The name is quite appropriate, as the island is home to thousands of kalong, or giant flying fox bats. Next to a mangrove island at dusk, literally tens of thousands of flying foxes emerge from the mangrove island and move over towards Rinka Island. Boats to Kalong can be chartered from Vae Java for a return ride. For the entire colony to emerge will take roughly 20 minutes of continuous waves of bats passing over your boat. And on the way back, you can see the Southern Cross, a prominent star pattern in the southern sky, a constellation easily visible to observers in the southern hemisphere. The next morning, we are off to Pada Island. The weather wasn't looking so promising, and it was the first time we encountered rain during a visit. Pada, also known as Pada, is a small isolated island located between the islands of Komodo and Rinka within the Komodo National Park, which is a part of the West Manggarai Regency and East Nusa Tenggara. It is the third largest island in Komodo National Park. The island's topography is rugged, with steep volcanic mountains and high hills surrounded by deep bays. Again, this is a famous tourist attraction, and you see a lot of people taking pictures for their Instagram and TikTok profile. Also here, the amount of waste in the water and at the shores is eye-watering. Feeling pink today? Well then, let's go to Long Pink Beach at Komodo National Park. The sand on this beach is actually pink colored. The pink comes from a mix of white sand and red coral fragments. When they get wet from the waves, the sand will appear pinker. The white sand feels really soft when you touch it, and is very fine. Pink Beach on Komodo Island has a bright pink color, somewhat close to red. That is why it is called Pantai Merah in the local language, which means red beach. Let's go and see the boss of Komodo. The Komodo dragon is a large reptile of the monitor lizard family Varanidae that is endemic to the Indonesian islands of Komodo, Rinca, Flores, Gili Dasami and Gili Motang. The largest extant population lives within the Komodo National Park in eastern Indonesia. It is the largest extant species of lizard, with the males growing to a maximum length of 3 meters and weighing up to 150 kilograms. Okay, this time we really want to see the mantas. And that's what we did in Komodo National Park. Manta Point in Komodo National Park is where manta rays are often spotted while feeding, thus becoming a popular location to meet these gentle marine giants. These giant playful creatures can grow up to 4 meters wide and are relatively harmless. They often welcome humans' proximity and swim elegantly around Manta Point, where they feed on tiny plankton. You can spot them there while drift snorkeling or diving. Baby black-tip reef sharks in Komodo are known for their timid and shy nature, preferring to hide among coral reefs. They are often found at specific dive sites like Castle Rock or in the shallow waters of Pulau Makassar. The best approach to seeing them is to observe them from a distance and allow them to approach rather than trying to chase them. Next up is again snorkeling at Tatawa Kesil. Tatawa Kesil is renowned for having some of the best snorkeling in Komodo. It has very strong currents. You can see gardens of hard and soft corals covering almost every inch of the reef and sweeping tables full of life. You could feel the current building to the left and right corner of the island. Tatawa Kesil is also known as the Anthias, the small colorful serenade fish capital of the world. And of course, there are sea turtles. Welcome to Pura Ulu Danu Bratan. Pura Ulu Danu Bratan is a major Hindu Shaitiv temple in Bali, Indonesia. The temple complex is on the shores of Lake Beratan in the mountains near Bedugul. The water from the lake serves the entire region in the outflow area. Downstream, there are many smaller water temples that are specific to each irrigation association, the so-called subak. Built in 1633, the temple is used for offerings and ceremonies dedicated to the Balinese water, lake and river goddess Devi Danu. Welcome to the real rice terraces of Bali. Jatiluvi. Nominated for designation as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, Jatiluvi offers a beautiful view of contoured rice terraces, irrigated using an impressive communal water system developed by Balinese farmers. The scenic walk through the quaint villages and verdant slopes of the central coastal regency of Tabanan adds to the experience. If you have a driver, you can choose the blue track and exit at the lower end of the rice terraces, so you don't have to hike back up again in the heat. There's left one thing to do before we leave Bali again. The sunset at Tanalot Temple. Tanalot, meaning land in the sea in Balinese, is one of Bali's most important landmarks, famed for its unique offshore setting and sunset backdrops. Perched on a dramatic rock formation and surrounded by crashing waves, Tanalot Temple isn't just a tourist attraction. It's a symbol of Bali's spirituality and breathtaking landscapes. There are so many things to see in Bali. We were impressed by the nature, the culture, and some of the most stunning views. Yet we realize how the lifestyle of others is endangering this paradise.